So, hello again, everybody. Welcome to the next chapter of my story of life with physical disability, mental health issues, and my love of surfing. And we're going to be nature and surfer related today, going for a bit of a nature walk. We're at a place called, this area is called, if I correctly remember, Antigua do Seca Bacalhau, which translates into, and I kid you not, I did check, it translates into old method for drying codfish. So all these swanky new apartments that are built here are located at a place called Old Method for Drying Codfish, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's really beautiful here, as you can see. Lovely waves. I'm sure surfing knows. I was out surfing this morning and had decent waves, but my surfing was just terrible. I just wasn't on form at all, and it's like that sometimes. The 2 days before that, I was knocking it out of the park every single way. I was catching, I was doing well, and today I just wasn't there. My form wasn't right. But there's life. Anyway, I decided to start here because I like this location and I wanted to do this walk for a while. It's actually a nature reserve, so maybe we'll see a bit of nature. By an amazing coincidence, just as I was setting up my camera, after I've been dropped off by a cab, these miscreants here pulled up, operatives and users of the Pura Vida Surf School, which is the one that I always use. So I'm going to sneak up on the instructor, Igor the drummer. How you doing, Igor?
What up, Johnisasurfer?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Yeah.
Well, these old novices are experienced, or
Some of them already surf. The other ones are doing this for the first time.
okay, but they're largely Russian, aren't they? So they're pretty much fearless.
I think it's Ukrainian.
Oh, Ukrainian, right? Okay, that's pretty much the same thing, just as fearless. Yeah, I'm gonna walk down onto the beach now. So, but yeah, it's good to see you, mate.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
See you.
So that's Igor. When Igor's not surfing or just generally being cool, he's actually a drummer in a metal band, like a Brazilian sort of folk music, death metal band, I think it is, called, what's it called? Throws and Shine. So if you look on that on whatever music platform you use, like Spotify, you get Throws and Shine. Throws as in Throes. Throws and Shine. That's Igor the drummer. And he's a really cool guy, really nice guy. I like it when Igor's taking lessons. He just lets me do whatever I want. When it's Bernardo, he's a little bit stricter, but he's the guy who runs it, so that only makes sense. Anyway, this is the path we take. It's a little bit precarious, so I'm barefoot because we're going to be on the beach in a minute. As you can see, it's just a little bit teensy bit dicey. You can imagine descending these stairs with no guardrail while carrying like an 8-foot long surfboard. And if it's on a really windy day, those surfboards, you can act as sails and push and pull you in all sorts of directions. You do have to be careful. It's usually quite a workout getting down to this spot. Getting back up's even worse. Because you've been paddling and your arms are tired and just your entire body can be a bit of a wreck. Because the waves here can be pretty aggressive. Not like sort of professional surfer level aggressive, but if you're a novice, it's a challenge. It can be a very challenging place to surf. There's lots of very strong currents here. Sorry, my camera works a bit ropey. I'm having to watch the floor more than anything else right now. I'll try not to point it just at the floor all the time. Yeah, so I mean, if you look out there, then we've got rocks here, and you get very strong currents coming from way over there, which is basically the mouth of the River Douro, opening up to the sea over there. And there's two factors. Some of it is just that the river water naturally filters into this little harbour area. So you get a current coming from there heading south. So you may get in the water up there, be paddling around, so there-ish. And if you don't pay attention, 2 minutes later you'll find yourself getting perilously close to the rocks. That's actually happened to me once or twice. In fact, we came here for a lesson once, and Bernardo decided to use me as his canary in the coal mine. And he said, just get in the water and have a paddle around and get started while he gets the students warmed up on the beach, because I hate doing the warm-ups, I never do them. So I got in the water and dutifully started looking for waves and finding a spot. And I was in there for literally like a minute or two. Next thing you know, I look up and I was like, here. I tried, like, the current had carried me several hundred meters. So I started paddling back. And the current was so strong, it was just one of those absurd situations where I was paddling and just to keep still. So Bernardo took one look at what was happening to me and decided it wasn't a good spot for beginners. So we had to pack the class up, get it back in the van and drive somewhere else. But that's the nature of surfing. You go where the waves are and where it's safe. But pretty decent waves today. I'm a bit pissed off I'm not at this lesson, but there you go. I'll probably be here tomorrow morning, and morning is usually a better time. But God, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it just beautiful? Portugal really is just fantastic. I love coming here. If I had the means, I would live here. And maybe one day. Maybe one day. Quite sure which way to go. I want to kind of catch the surfers coming down the steps. I think that'll look pretty cool. But it'll take them a few minutes to get sorted out. So I'll just kind of hover around here. And it's a really good location because some of the beaches that we go to for surfing are a bit out in the sticks, you know. There's one called Espina, which is further south by several miles, maybe 10 miles, I think. And it's an amazing beach. It's huge, open, wide, empty, really good waves, hardly any rocks. It's pretty much perfect. But let's get out of the way of these cyclists. But Espina, there's really nothing there other than the beach, so it can feel a bit desolate sometimes. And when you get out of the water on a hot day, you're feeling kind of parched and would love to get like an ice cream or a can of Coke. It's a bit annoying because there's nothing there. Whereas here, you're close to the city. There's cafes not far away up the hill, so you can have access to facilities. We'll just go down on the beach a bit. So we look this way. Obviously, you can see the city of Porto on the north bank. So that's on the left side of that bridge. And then on the south bank, which is on the right side of the bridge, that's Gaia. And not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that it's two separate cities. Maybe it's a bit of an exaggeration. It's called Gaia City. But that's where I stay. Well, I stay in Gaia, but not over there. Sort of that direction, really. Anyway, let's have a wander around. Damn, those waves. Those Ukrainians are in for some fun. It's a cracking beach for waves, it really is. But you have to go further up, way over there. So we'll take a little toddle, but I'm not going to go downhill yet. So, what shall I talk about? Oh yeah, that's it. In addition to this little nature walk, I thought I'd talk about a subject I've not touched on at all since I started doing this series of videos. And that is the subject of dating and romance and love and all that stuff. Since I got dystonia back in 22, I've had absolutely zero appetite for dating or anything like that because I was far too self-conscious. Just keep thinking, who wants to date a guy who can't even point his head forward, who can't drive a car, you know? And usually I rise above this sort of thing and I'm okay with it. But when it came to sort of like relationships and dating, I was like, oh, this is just, I'm done. I'm finished. And I was alright with it, really. Kind of made peace with it. But every now and then I'd have like a little sort of niggling feeling that I was kind of chickening out. I mean, there's lots of people out there who have disabilities. It doesn't stop them from having a love life. And although I'm quite a solitary character, I do enjoy company if it's of good quality. So it's just been gnawing at me. And I have a dating app on my phone. I'm not telling you which one, so you can't go tracking down my profile. I've been kind of humming and hawing over the women that you see on this dating app. And then for some reason this week, in my usual spontaneous fashion, I just thought, you know what, fuck it. Maybe it's time I went for a date. It's not going to hurt to sit down and have a coffee with someone, is it? On my profile, I'm very open about the fact that I have a disability. It's pretty much like the first or second line. So nobody can turn up and shock horror, be surprised. And I have had a few women in the past who've interacted with me, just chatting on the app, and they've asked me about it, and they've been okay. I don't blame anyone for veering away from going on a date with somebody who's got a disability. It does add a dimension of complexity, which is not going to be appealing to some people. So I don't judge anyone for not wanting to do that. I think it's unfair on them to make some kind of moral judgment. It's got to be their decision, and they've got to be comfortable with it. Not everyone's equipped to deal with it. Some people are, some people aren't. Anyway, I was swiping on the app this week, and saw one that I took a bit of a shine to. Pretty good looking girl, lives not far from here, so it would be a Portuguese date. And yeah, so you know, gave her a likey swipe, and she reciprocated, and we chatted for a little bit. And obviously the online chat thing, you can only do it for so long. At some point you got to get your balls in your hand and actually ask for a date. So I proposed that we go for a coffee sometime, and she went, sure, yeah. So then I got nervous. So, oh God, she said yes. I was kind of hoping she'd say no. Then at least I would be able to say, well, I asked, so I was courageous, but I didn't actually have to go on the date. So I was still kind of wanting to chicken out a little bit. It feels weird burying my soul like this, but it's important. I think it is. So anyway, we agreed where it was going to take place, and it was going to be at the cafe, which is at the bottom of the hill from where my accommodation is located. So really easy for me, 400-metre walk. 8 PM, we agreed. She was going to drive there. You know, everything was tickety-boo. So I got dressed up. I've got one shirt and one pair of jeans when I come on holiday, so that's as dressed up as I could get. And got there quite early, feeling pretty apprehensive to be honest with you. Wasn't quite sure how she was going to respond. You've all seen me on camera, what my posture looks like. To someone who's not used to it, it could be a bit of a shock. So I ordered myself a coffee, and I just sat there, twiddling my thumbs. I got close to 8 PM, still feeling a bit nervous. Still thinking, oh, I could just walk away right now. It would be okay. The world would forgive me. But anyway, I stayed, of course. Anyway, time ticked by. Got to 8:15. I was getting a little bit annoyed. Thinking, you know, come on, woman, where are you? Hadn't received a message or anything. So I told myself, you know, that I don't like this. I don't like being kept waiting. I don't think there's anything cool about it. If you say you're going to be there, be there. If you can't be there, send someone a message. It's so easy to communicate with people these days. There's no excuse not to. So I gave it a cut-off time of 20 past. 20 past 8, I was going to go. So 20 past 8 came and went. I finished my coffee, paid for it. Thought, well, never mind. She's turned me down, stood me up, as it were. So I went for a bit of a walk along the beach. Then I walked back, went past the cafe again just to see if she was there. Maybe she got there really late. It could be, you know, some legitimate reason. Couldn't see anyone who looked like her at all. So I thought, sod it. She had a chance. For whatever reason it is, she can't be here, or she doesn't want to be, or whatever. And I went home. 2 hours later, I'm going to say that again. 2 hours later, I get a message which has a bit of a snarky tone to it, saying, you know, hey, where are you? I've been waiting. With a couple of little emojis for the sort of clapping of hands as a suggestion, oh, come on, get a move on, what the hell are you playing at? So I just replied quite neutrally and just said, I got there at 7:30, I waited until 20 past 8, I went for a walk, went past the cafe, you still weren't there. And she kind of snapped back at me a little bit, you know, sort of, not rude, but not exactly polite, or certainly not apologetic. She just went, oh, well, I guess it's just not meant to be. Goodbye. If it had a tone of voice in the text, that's what it would be. So I thought, all right, screw you. I'm not putting up with this. So I unmatched her. So that was my first date in, oh God, I've lost count now. It was more than 4 years, actually. Because the last time I was in any kind of relationship, it was 2019. With a very lovely girl who I still occasionally say hello to because she's cool and I like her. She's nice. So that makes it going on 7 years. My first day, and she stood me up, miserable cow. But I don't know. This is Portugal, and time doesn't mean a great deal to these people. But I was talking to Igor, who you saw earlier on this video, the beardy drummer. And here they come now, you can see them. My surfing students. And at first he was like, well, it's Portugal, man, you know, people take the time. And then I said, oh yeah, she messaged me 2 hours late. So he kind of went, 2 hours? So I think even by Portuguese standards, she was taking the piss a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. And I don't care. I think if you can't make it within 20 minutes of your agreed time, it shouldn't be too much to send a message or give a call or something. Or if you are really late and you haven't sent a message, at some point you should be in touch saying, I'm really sorry. There was a reason, etc., etc. And you certainly should be going, oh, I've been waiting for you. She hadn't been waiting for me. I was waiting for her. So there you go. The vagaries of love and dating and relationships when you have a disability. You never know what you're going to get. So it's kind of whetted my appetite for it a little bit though. It's given me a little bit more confidence. I've been kind of hiding away from this subject for some time now. And I'm kind of glad that I broached the subject. So it didn't go well. That doesn't really matter. The important part is that I turned up. I was willing to sit there and go through it. And it's the only thing it's the only time I've really felt self-conscious about having the dystonia. Because the thought of like a woman coming up and then the look on her face of revulsion or something, you know, you don't know how they're going to react. They may be totally cool with it. Lots of people are. In fact, pretty much everybody's been cool with me so far. You know, nobody spits at me and makes fun or anything like that. Everyone, wherever I've been, whether it's been in the UK or Portugal, has been cool. It's not the most exciting nature reserve, this is it. It's not exactly thrilling, but I think there's a bit more over there. How long is this video? 20 minutes already. So, yeah. Might do a bit more of that. See if I can find someone who's brave and mad enough to have a date with me. Gotta be somebody out there. But yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Oh, what a beautiful city. I'll have to get one more walk done before I leave. I've got a week left. I'm not actually on holiday now, I'm working from abroad with the permission of my employer, so no rules being broken. But I will try and get like a city walk done, like an evening city walk. And that will be, you see where that white bridge is in the distance? That's pretty much where it'll start. That's where all the interesting stuff starts. Like going left, it's sort of residential, parks, hotels. Still nice to walk around, you know, it's scenic pretty much wherever you go. But over there is where you're heading towards the old part of town. And it's where all the really beautiful buildings are. But it's a bit subjective. I haven't really found a part of Portugal that I didn't think was beautiful. We're just going to wander up to the surf class now. Just discreetly film them so you can see what kind of thing I get up to. What a surf lesson looks like. Whew. Walking on sand is tiring. So yeah, that's the dystonia related conversation for the day, I think. For all of you out there who maybe have some kind of problem like this, maybe you've been in this situation where you didn't know what to do, you know, should you, shouldn't you? Where you get laughed at, maybe you feel very uncomfortable. Well, I can assure you that you can be very open about it and people will still express an interest. There's been quite a few on the app who've given me a like. And I'm no oil painting, I mean, I'm not an ugly sod, but I was never going to be on the cover of GQ or Men's Health, you know what I mean? And there were still quite a few women who expressed an interest. And as I said, I've been very open about having this disability. So there's hope for us all. Yeah, I think we'll wind the dystonia talk up there. On the mental health side of things, I'm doing alright. In the last video, I think I talked about the fact that I'm playing around with positive affirmations, which does sound a bit wishy-washy until you think about it, because the brain is incapable of distinguishing between your voice and the voice of someone else. So if you go around explicitly, outwardly voicing negative opinions about yourself, your brain will absorb that information and build models around it. So if I were to constantly say I'm never ever going to get better and I'll always be in pain, well, that's just going to increase the chances of that happening. So I have been working on doing this positive affirmation stuff, and it's too early to say yes, it's definitely working, or no, it's definitely not. I feel like I've seen some moments where it's wanted to loosen up a lot, and then the old movement patterns have taken over again. So it does feel like there's like a bit of an internal struggle going on. Hard to describe it really, but I suppose if you go back to like medieval times, it would be easily mistaken for someone being possessed. It really feels like that sometimes. Like you're having a little internal battle with some malevolent spirit. Where the hell are they going? This is the downside of surfing, walking along windy beaches with a great big board, dragging you all over the place. And you can see some of these students here, flailing around with the boards a little bit. It does get annoying. I'll film them from a distance because I don't want to intrude on their privacy. They may not appreciate being filmed. I just think I'm going to be wrapping up fairly soon anyway, 25 minutes. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'll walk a bit further out. I kind of wish I'd started further out, then I could have walked out to that seawall. Maybe next time. But I'm trying to do that now. It's going to be like a really long video. And as somebody advised me, shorter is better. Not always, not half an hour. But when it comes to making these movies, yeah, I think they're right. Half an hour is about enough. Just going to look at this. Somebody get creative on the beach. Do you see this a lot on these beaches? People find bits of driftwood, start stacking it up in little formations. It's like everyone's got some kind of creative impulse. I'm not suggesting this is a thing of great beauty, but it just kind of tickles me a little bit. It intrigues me. I think that somebody maybe make a bit of a campsite, like a little windbreak. Tell you what it will be good for. Good for me sitting down. Look. Oh, that's nice. I can sit down for a bit. As I say, if it's in the distance. So it's going to take a few minutes for them to get in the water because Igor is going to give them the safety briefing, the do's and don'ts, and he'll give them a bit of a warm-up exercise, which I hate doing. I just don't do the warm-ups now. Bit arrogant of me, but I hate jumping up and down in a wetsuit when it's dry in the sun. You're pouring sweat and you just want to get in the water. So I just get straight in the water. And once you're moving around for a minute or two, you're warmed up enough, it's fine. I always think this is a bit over the top. But then again, I do keep on top of my physical fitness. And a lot of these people, they're like day trippers. They're not into the fitness at all, quite a few of them. Some of them are in pretty mediocre shape. So they're not really ready for it. It's quite rigorous, surfing at times. You do a lot of paddling. And it puts a lot of strain on your shoulders, on your upper neck, definitely. Your back generally. Your feet, your legs and feet a little bit. But it's mainly an arms, neck kind of exercise. He's going to have them all lying down, practicing popping up and stuff like that. We'll walk a little bit closer and I'll wrap it up. So I hope this video was really useful to somebody. I hope somebody out there who's been feeling insecure and wondering about whether they're ever going to have a love life again has watched this and realised that if a dimwit like me can do it, they've got a chance too. Just because one person couldn't be bothered to turn up or couldn't be bothered to turn up on time and was a bit disrespectful doesn't mean the next one will be. And you got to stay in the game. I mean, you still got a life to live. Having a disability, it's not the beginning of the end. It's just a change. It's just a restructuring of your life. Frustrating sometimes. Very distressing at the beginning, certainly in my case. But it can also be very beneficial. You learn a lot from it. You can come through it wiser, stronger, a bit more of a well-rounded character, maybe with a healthier perspective on life. And I'll get all warmed up. Igor is pretty generous with the warm-up. He doesn't go too crazy. If it's Bernardo, you think you're training for the Olympics. As you're playing games and running up and down and all sorts of stuff, which I just don't appreciate at all. I'm a right miserable old man when it comes to this sort of thing. Apologies for the shitty lighting, I can't help it, the sun's pointing the wrong way. But there they are, all getting warmed up. Kind of cool to be filming them, really. Right, what I'm going to do is going to sign off. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope it was of some value to you. Please feel free to share it with others. Sorry, I forgot to put the disclaimer in that should have put in at the beginning, which is that I'm not a medical professional. Nothing I said should be considered as professional medical advice. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. Everything I've said today was just my opinion. If you do have any physical or mental health issues affecting you, you should seek professional help from your GP, or if you're in the UK, you can dial 111 for non-emergency issues, 999 for emergencies, so you could scoot up to your A&E department if you're feeling really bad. If it's just a mental health issue, you're feeling really depressed and you're struggling through life, my heart goes out to you, it really does. I know how bad that is. Call a friend, tell somebody, talk to somebody, don't self-isolate, it's the worst thing you can do. Maybe go to your local place of worship, whatever that place is. Somebody there will want to listen to you and hear your story. So that's me signing off from this beautiful, beautiful place. The name of this little beach is Cabadello, by the way. Hope the rest of your weekend is absolutely fantastic. I'll see you again soon. That's John signing off, and remember guys, these are the good days. Auf Wiedersehen.